Hey Financial Patriots, in this quick video I'm going to show you why it is so important to have these little gold coins in your life and probably completely reverse the way you have been thinking about money. Alright, so stay tuned. So in this video I'm going to show you exactly why it's so important to own gold in order to preserve your wealth. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to this Wikipedia article to talk about the Coinage Act of 1834. And this was an act by Congress in 1834, of course. It raised the silver to gold weight ratio from the 1792 level of 15 to 1 to 16 to 1. But here's something else that it did. It redefined the U.S. Eagle, which was the 10 U.S. dollars. It redefined it from 232 grains of fine gold compared to 247.5 grains. But then it fixed the official basis of the dollar as $20.69 per troy ounce. So let's repeat that. It took $20 and it made it the equivalent of one gold coin. It made 1 ounce $20 effectively, okay? So back then, this $20 bill, which is basically the same 20 on a piece of paper as it is today, it was actually worth 1 ounce of gold. And then it stayed that way until after the Great Depression, when they actually raised it to 1 ounce was worth $35. So let's go back into history then in 1900 and realize that 1 acre of land, if you're to buy 1 acre of land, it might cost you $200. So that acre of land was actually just then 10 ounces of gold. So it literally was $200, 10 times 20, $200. So 1 acre of land costs you 10 ounces of gold in 1900. So the idea of backing dollars with gold has always been to control inflation and keep the dollars from actually going down and depleting to zero. In other words, gold actually acts as a hedge against inflation. However, in 1971, President Nixon, as you see here, ended the convertibility of US dollars to gold and announced wage price controls. So this in this 1971 act, they brought in ends to the 1944 Bretton Woods Project, which actually gave the U.S. control of all the world's currencies by pegging all the world's currencies to the U.S. dollar, which was then backed to gold. But in 1971, Nixon untethered gold from the dollar. If you look at this chart right here from the Federal Reserve St. Louis, this shows the U.S. monetary supply, and you can see we had a low monetary money supply up until about right here. Look at 1971, and then what did we start to get into? The Federal Reserve and the Treasury just started putting money and printing money essentially, which, as you can see now, has gone off the charts, and in 2020 it's way up here. So more currency has been created in the last few years than existed in the first 200 years of our country. Now, what happens to something? The more and more there is of something, the less valuable it is, because it's no longer scarce, so it's no longer valuable. It actually begins to deflate. And what happens then is that you will lose your purchasing power on with what your dollars actually buy. So this chart right here shows the purchasing power of the dollar going down from 2007 up until now 2020. And what that means when you lose your purchasing power, that means things are more and more expensive. So you can't buy as much for your dollar. So that's actually inflation. And you can see from this chart right here, this is the purchasing power of main currencies valued in gold from 1971 to 2020. And you can see that every major currency, the euro, the US dollar, the British pound, has all gone from this basis of 100 in 1971 down to virtually zero in 2020, or right around 1, okay? Now I want you to see the gold price today is $1,878 as of October 28th, 2020. Now with this calculator, which converts numbers to percentages, we can actually see how much the dollar has declined relative for our purchasing power. Okay, so check this out. So originally, remember, one gold coin was $20. So let's say it was $20.67. That's actually what it pegged it to. And right now it's approximately $1,900. So if we hit calculate, that means it is 1.087% of what it was from 1900, okay? And then, so that decrease means that it has, since approximately 1900, when they pegged that dollar to $20.67, the dollar purchasing power has gone down by 98.9%. So the dollar has lost 98.9% of its purchasing power. So if you look at this chart again, this is the dollar going down in purchasing power, and this is, where was it? I'm sorry. This is the dollar going down in purchasing power, right? But this right here is actually the price of gold going up from approximately 1970 or 1930s up until 2020 at 1900 today. So you can see it's actually going in opposite direction. Therefore, gold is a hedge against your deflating dollars and against inflation. Now let's put that in simpler terms again, in terms of looking at, remember what we said at the beginning of the video, was that 10 ounces of gold in 1900 could buy you 1 acre of land at $20 per acre, or $200 per acre. Now today, it is exactly right. This $20 bill, how many of these would you need to buy 1 acre? Well, if it was priced still in gold, it would be approximately 10 ounces of gold, which is approximately $20,000. Doesn't that seem right, that 1 acre of land on average would cost somewhere around $20,000 in today's dollars? But remember, this is the same exact $20 bill in 2020 as it was in 1900. So if you had them face to face, they would look the same. But the reality is, this little gold 1 ounce coin is the thing that actually preserved your purchasing power. And this is absolutely why you need to have gold in your portfolio for generations to come, to protect against the declining, and ultimately the dollar will go to zero and everything will come crumbling down, because you can't calculate something if it's worth nothing. Everything that's in stock, everything that's valued in price of dollars, Bitcoin is priced in the price of dollars, everything is priced in terms of these fake dollars. And when that purchasing power goes down to zero, what that means is everything will just absolutely explode downward. And the only thing that's going to preserve the purchasing power is where all wealth is actually stored, and it is in gold. I hope that makes sense. I hope it makes you understand why owning gold is so important to you.